Alright, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson. So, this Friday, June 11th in Kansas City, Kansas, Invicta Fighting Championship is back and the Phoenix tournament is back in this time, and it seems like they must have read my mind because this is right in the middle of International Atomweight Month, but this time the tournament is going to feature the atomweights, with the winner going on to face the current Invicta Fc atomweight champion Alicia Zappitella at a date to be decided. So in honor of Atomweight Month and the Phoenix tournament, I wanted to talk about the fighters that are participating. Now, the matchups are going to be decided based on, and this is a first for the Phoenix tournament. The matchups are going to be decided by fan voting, and they're going to be able to vote right up until the weigh-ins. So I will include a link in the description down below that will allow you to go and vote on the matchups. Now, how the Phoenix tournament works is that it is 8 fighters and there are 3 rounds. The first and second rounds, the quarterfinals and semifinals, are single 5-minute rounds. And then the final fight is going to be 3 5-minute rounds. And they usually make for some exciting matchups because, you know, the ladies go in there and they know they've only got 5 minutes to get something done in order to move on to the next round. So let's talk about these fighters, and they're not going to be in any particular order. But first off, let's start with Paula Granada's Firefox will be making her Invicta debut. She is 33 years old. She has a record of 4-4. She stands 5 feet 2 inches, 157 centimeters tall, has a reach of 60.5 inches, 154 centimeters tall. Now, she is coming off a loss to Gloria Bravo Barrios at Combate 36 in April of 2019. So it has actually been over 2 years since Granados got the fight. I actually helped campaign to get her signed for Invicta, so I'm really excited to see her debut. She's a fairly well-rounded fighter. She fights out of Alliance MMA in California alongside Angela Hill, and I saw on Instagram that Angela Hill's going to be in her corner for this. So very much looking forward to Firefox's Invicta debut. Next we move on to another Invicta debutante in Tabitha Watkins. Batgirl is the youngest fighter in this tournament at 26 years old. She has a record of 3-3. She stands 5 feet 3 inches, 160 centimeters tall, and has a reach of 63 inches, 160 centimeters. Now, she is coming off a unanimous decision loss to Ai Shimizu at Ryzen 18 back in August of 2019. So she's another fighter that, interestingly, has not fought in a while. And even more interestingly, she gets signed to Invicta and enters this tournament on a 3-fight losing streak. So she has a chance to, you know, stop that streak and really turn her record around with this with a win in this tournament. Also interesting about this is that she is a training partner of Invicta Atomweight champion Alicia Zappitella. So if she wins, she's going to have to face her own friend and training partner in order to become champion. So that makes her an interesting storyline in itself. Moving along, we go to the damsel, Lindsey Van Zandt. Lindsey is 27 years old. She has a record of 7-4. She stands all of 5 feet 2 inches, 157 centimeters tall, with a reach of 64 inches, 163 centimeters. Now, Van Zandt is coming off a split decision loss to the current champion, Alicia Zappitella, back at Invicta 40 in July of last year, 2020. Very close, very contentious split decision loss there as well. And Lindsey has actually faced a number of other fighters in this tournament, including Jessica Delboni, Tabitha Watkins, and would have been Katie Saul, but Katie Saul had to drop out. So she has faced, you know, several fighters already in this tournament. So be very interesting to see who she gets matched up with. Speaking of Jessica Delboni, she is next. The lone Brazilian on the card comes in at 27 years old. and with a record of 10 wins, 3 losses. She stands 5 feet 1 inch, 155 centimeters tall, and has a reach of 62 inch, 157 centimeters. Now she is coming off a split decision loss to the champ, Alicia Zappitella, just a few weeks ago at Invicta on Axis on May 21st of this year. So she's coming off a split decision, highly contentious decision loss just a few weeks ago, and coming off of that, just fought a hard 5 rounds fight, and she says, I want another shot. So Invicta said, fine, we'll put you in this tournament. You're gonna have to earn another shot, fighting 3 times in one night. And Delboni, she stepped up. She says, I'll do it. So congrats. Good on her. Props to Jessica Delboni. So keeping things moving is going to be Melinda Mahalik. F109 is the oldest fighter in the tournament at 38 years old. She comes in with a record of 2-1. She stands 5'3", 160 centimeters tall with a reach of 64 inch, 163 centimeters. Now, Mahalik is coming off a loss to Gillian DeCorsi at Invicta 39 in February of last year, 2020. Before that, she was undefeated as a pro with 2 wins, including a win over a fellow tournament participant, but then came up short in that decision loss to Gillian DeCorsi. So I like Mahalik. She is a very aggressive fighter, and does not fight like someone who is pushing 40. So very interesting to see what she'll be bringing into this tournament bracket. And then next we move on to Gillian DeCorsi. Lionheart is 36 years old, comes in with a record of 4-3. Now she stands 5 feet 2 inches, 157 centimeters tall, and has a reach of 63 inches, 160 centimeters. Now, Gillian is coming off a unanimous decision loss to Elise Reed at CFFC 91 back in December. However, it is important to note that that was at strawweight for the strawweight title. So she just got a taste of championship potential in a strawweight fight. Now she's coming back down to atomweight to fight for another shot at gold. This time she's going to be looking to get vengeance against the current champ Alicia Zappitella, who she has also fought and lost to. Next up, we have another newcomer to Invicta in Katlyn Perez. Makina Assassina is 28 years old, brings in a record of 2-1. She stands 5 feet 3 inch, 160 centimeters tall. No reach available for her at this time. Now she is, I believe, the lone fighter coming into this tournament off of a win. She's coming off a win over Brenda Enriquez at MTF 18 back in October. I've seen Perez fight once before against Gillian DeCorsi, and she lost to the more experienced fighter, but I gotta say I was impressed by what I saw. I think I've seen one other fight of hers since then. She definitely has potential to be the dark horse of this tournament, so looking forward to seeing what Perez brings in. And then finally, last but certainly not least, late replacement Marissa Messer-Belenchia. The Spider Monkey comes in at 29 years old. She has a record of 3-1. Now she is the shortest fighter in the tournament at 5 feet even, 152 centimeters tall, and has a reach of 63 inch, 160 centimeters. Now she is coming off a loss to fellow tournament participant Linda Mahalik at Invicta 37 in October of 2019. So another fighter coming in off of a bit of a layoff here. I believe I remember that fight between her and Linda Mahalik is pretty good. Before that, she was, undefeated, 3-0 as a pro in various other promotions. So, big props to Marissa there for coming in on short notice, less than a week, because the fighter she replaced had to drop out due to travel restrictions. So that is your lineup for the Invicta Atomweight Phoenix tournament. Like I said, this goes down on June 11th in Kansas City, Kansas. It will be airing live on Axis TV and also on Invicta FC's YouTube channel for those that aren't able to get access. I like this lineup here. It's very interesting. There's a wide array of styles. Very striker heavy though. So while it does have a wide array of styles, it's mostly different styles of striking. There's a wide array of ages and experience levels as well. I mean, you have fighters coming in that only have 3 pro fights, and then you have fighters like Van Zandt and Delboni that have, you know, over 10 fights. So it's a pretty wide array of fighters. Couple things I've noticed though about this lineup: there's nobody in their early 20s, so everybody should come in with at least some maturity as far as age goes. Now maybe some of these fighters aren't as experienced in a cage as others, but all of them should be coming in with, you know, a level of maturity that comes from age. Also, one thing I was disappointed with is that for being atomweight, and that this is like probably the strongest division for Asian fighters, there's a somewhat surprising lack of Asian fighters in this tournament. Now granted, due to COVID, it's going to be hard to get, you know, fighters over from Asia, like I said, due to travel restrictions. I mean, we had a fighter coming from Canada that couldn't even, you know, leave where they were coming from. So it would be a little hard for Asian fighters to come in because, you know, while there's no travel restrictions coming into the U.S., as soon as they're done, they have to go back and, you know, spend a few weeks in quarantine. So maybe Invicta did try to reach out and they just said it's not worth it. Maybe they tried to reach out and couldn't get any fighters. Maybe they didn't try. I don't know. But like I said, it's just somewhat disappointing that for atomweight there's no Asian fighters. But other than that, I like the array here. You know, I like that several of these fighters have fought each other before. A lot of these fighters, you know, they all know each other pretty much, so they all should know what each is coming in here looking to do. But that's of course assuming that each fighter fights to how they normally fight. When you only got 5 minutes to get stuff done, you might come in there and do something different. You got to do whatever it takes to either get a finish or win on the judges' scorecards. And of course, if you get a finish in the first round, the fastest finisher in the first round gets to pick their opponent in the second round. So there is a lot of incentive to get a fast finish in this. So that's one more thing that makes this tournament interesting. Like I said, this goes down Friday, June 11th, or this coming Friday. And the matchups, of course, are still to be decided. Like I said, I will leave the link to go vote in the description down below. Make sure you go and check that out. In the meantime, if you like this video, please give it a like. And go ahead and subscribe to WMMA Now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.